morning. Good morning. What is up, everyone? How are you doing today? What do we got in here? Good morning, Ron. What's going on, bud? Bro Fit, still in bed, no coffee yet. All right. Look, man. Happy Friday, dude. That's what that is. It's a happy Friday, bud. Good morning, MP. How are you? How's work at the house going? It's Friday. MP's off, y'all. Hopefully, right? MP's off. I'm not off today. I am working today. Um, just got my first cup, slept in a little late. Yeah, late night TCG, man. Yep, exactly. Exactly that. Good morning, David. How are you? What's going on? Get out of bed. The coffee is poured. My wife is the best client. That's how the Reno is going. Oh, nice. Yeah, right? Honey, you got this? I'm gonna stay out of it. Cool. Thank you. Or is she just letting you handle it and is like, I don't care, just do it. The old, well, you can move this light here, right? Okay. That happens at my house so often. She's like, we could just change this, right? And I'm like, sure, honey. Or no. One time, it was a couple of years ago, my wife really wanted uh a new faucet in our bathroom. And it's a pedestal sink and it's a real small one, so it's like real tight in there, but there's access to everything. So she was just thinking to herself, she's like, it's easy, right? You can do it. I was like, no, it doesn't sound like fun. I'm not gonna do it. So she bought the faucet and I came home one day and she had taken the old faucet apart and she was in there trying to get the new one in and she was huffing and puffing and I gave her all my tools, all that stuff, like, and she pretty much did it all herself. I just had to help her, with 1 or 2, you know, muscle connections that I had to tighten myself, but, props to her because she did the whole thing, you know, because I was like, I'm not doing that."
Good
Hey, what's
morning.
up, Jason? Good morning.
Happy
Good
Friday.
morning. Happy Friday, dude.
How are you?
Bless the wifey is cozy. Everybody drop a bro fit, go on in the chat. Um I'm good,
I'm
man.
gonna
I'm
I'm
good.
gonna jump onto I'm gonna jump on a Brofist train. Guys need cuddling too. If you have a man, spoon your man. They may not even say it, but men like to be the small spoons too sometimes.
But even no matter how big they are. In fact, sometimes the bigger they are, the more they want it.
Yeah, I'm really big, so I really like spooning.
We
Um,
have been too many conversations where I have to move the furniture all over the room just to put it back to the original place. Exactly. Painting walls is no, 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 no. I'm really big. Go on. Cozy wife, cozy life. I love it, dude.
I like that.
Ace.
That's a great. That I like that much better than that alternative one. What's the other one?
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy
Happy
life.
life. Yeah. Someone said, happy spouse, happy house, so that it goes both ways.
There's I don't know if there's a way to say this without sounding like an asshole. I do agree that a happy wife does make you happy, right? Um, but I have always associated that phrase with kind of what's the word? Surrender,
Mm, okay.
you know? Like you have to like it's definitely a balance, right? And I always thought that happy me, happy we was a good balance out to that because dads have to be happy too sometimes.
Yeah.
We can't
Yep.
forget about ourselves, whether it's your
100%.
own time or spending some time on your hobby or hanging out with your friends or whatever your tribe is. That's also important.
Yeah.
Got a like from Paul Cooper. Hey, Mr. Cooper. It's been a long time.
Friends on Facebook, right?
Yeah, he is a friend from my days in CrossFit a long time ago. Good guy, funny guy. He was one of those guys that he was a little bit older than me, but he looked younger, you know?
Okay. Hmm.
So I always enjoyed our conversations together. Um, I'll wrap it up by saying let's just go back to the oxygen mask analogy where you got to put your oxygen mask on first so you can help everybody else.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Craig. How are you doing, man? It's been a while.
Craig, I haven't seen Craig in forever.
I know I owe Craig a DM. I owe him a comic book from the first comic that I got, and I've been meaning to reach out to him. So, Craig, I'll find you, dude. I'm sorry. But anyways, how how's your day? How's your week been going? What's been going on in your household?
Um, the week still just kind of ramping down summer. I did find I have one more week left before I really have to do anything school related. So that was kind
Okay.
of nice. I was like mentally prepared for today to be my last day of doing whatever I wanted, but it's not. So I feel good about that. Thankful for the time. Um, I got to go on a great bike ride yesterday with my 10-year-old. Like first ever like actual trail ride. And it was gorgeous out. There was cloud cover. It was warm. It was gorgeous. It was quiet. There were
Oh,
horses.
I
There
lost
were
sound.
horses along the trail. Like I nailed this thing. This is like I'm gonna call this like my biggest victory of the summer here, because she loves horses. She boldly relieved herself in nature, which is great without tear. Like no fighting. Like normally,
Fun
Junie will
stuff.
kind of fight going out of the house, but today or yesterday went really well. Uh, David, Ryan introduced me to girl dad hats. So Ryan's your guy for that. And also, yeah, the trails around here, chef's kiss. It's been 15 years and they don't get old. How about you? How was your day yesterday? Oh, sorry. The one thing I was going to say was the reason why I haven't been on Tuesday and Thursday this week is I'm trying to develop a schedule
So
for the.
weird, dude.
Say it again. Did you say something, Don? Can you hear me? Am I muted?
Now I can hear you. That's so weird.
Oh, sorry.
I was
Oh,
even moving. I was even moving, and like I'm watching it on Twitch too. That's how I'm chatting via my Twitch name, and so I can even see myself move, but I can't. I couldn't hear you or anything. Like StreamYard just bugged and rugged me out on my phone. So that was weird. I missed that whole entire thing, but the chat was paying attention. So
oh, okay. So the
you had a
chat.
good ride.
Yeah, good ride. Can you hear me now? Testing. Yes.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a horse trail, multi-use trail, just north of Boulder. Uh, yeah, if you're a fan of any kind of mountain biking and you haven't been out here, I highly recommend it. Um,
Nice.
and then I also said to David, Ryan is the guy that got me my first girl dad hat. So Ryan's your guy.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah, that's a good hat. I like that hat.
I think there was like a boutique shop in Brooklyn somewhere
Oh, nice.
that he got me one from. So, but how are you? Oh, the thing that you missed was I was off Tuesday. I didn't come on Tuesday and Thursday, so I'm playing around with like my new school schedule where I'm thinking like maybe I'll do like this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do
Hmm.
Tuesday, Thursday where I can listen more. I did enjoy listening yesterday. and I like hearing other people's point of views as well.
You hear that, people? We have an opening. We have an opening for a Tuesday, Thursday co-host spot. I'm totally fine at being rotating and random. I'm totally fine being alone 2 days a week. Jay may just pop up because he just can't stay away and misses me. But if
I
anyone,
do miss
if
it, and, like, if I skip a day, I'm, like, a little bit more excited to get on the next day,
yeah,
mostly for you.
yeah, I have a couple in a couple weeks I'll be in Hawaii. So the time change will make it tough, right? Because that's way earlier. So we'll see how that week goes. That may be a weird week.
Yeah, what is
It's
that?
like
Is that,
the
like, midday?
21st, August 21st is I think when we leave. It's like a Thursday to a Wednesday or something like that.
Would that be, like what would be the time there? Like, midday-ish? I don't know.
No,
Not
it'd
that
be way earlier. It'd be like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. or something. I don't know. What are they? They're 6 hours behind Ron. So
yeah.
what's 6 hours behind you right now, Ron? I don't know where you are. Is it 7 a.m. for you right now, Ron? You're 2 hours ahead of me, right? 2:35 ish. Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to make 2:35 ish.
We're doing it. Let's do it. You should at least do, like, your jet lag episode where, you're still catching up with time.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk about it when that day comes. I
Yeah.
could be a substitute car pop in Blaze. Maybe Ryan will come back for a couple of days. Good morning, Mr. Turner.
Ryan, you gotta get David a girl dad hat. This is actually my second girl dad hat. Ryan got me my first one. That was a great hat. I listened. Speaking of Ryan, who's here, and Ron, who's here, I did jump back into some earlier episodes yesterday, and I heard Ron's interview. That
Hmm.
was a great one. Um,
Yeah, Ron's a fucking dude.
he is
Like he's something special. That Ron guy.
a different beast for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's it for me. How about you?
I just hanging out. Got a busy day today, like back to back meetings on one job site, and then hopefully I get out of here early enough to leave home without too much traffic. But yeah, I guess I have a designer in town. It's the only day she could meet. And the client flies in at like 9 o'clock. So then she'll meet with us too. So it was more of like the corresponding schedules. Yesterday I presented a proposal for a pretty extensive remodel, and man, as soon as the lady saw the price, the tone freaking changed. It was very much like we were going strong, and then we looked at the bottom line price, and it was like, "How fast can I get you out of my house?" And I could feel the energy just like change, and so like I just didn't. I kind of like clammed up. I just didn't know what to do. Like I'm not good at like selling myself and like pushing, and saying like, "Look, this is what you're paying for." Um, I don't like boast myself up as anything like crazy or like amazing to pay for. So I just try to empathize and say, "Yep, I know we can cut some stuff, we can work together, but why don't you take some time to digest everything that I've sent you, and just let's be in touch." She's still far off from ever doing she's still got like 6 to 8 months of planning and city stuff. So there's time, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that one faded away and never heard from her again.
So this was more of a consultation.
Well, it was actually a bid. Like I actually put in the time to give her a very comprehensive, binder of proposals and stuff like that, like I always do. I don't think she was expecting that, but that's the only way I know how to do it. Like I don't pretend to know pricing, so I don't just guess for everybody and just do it real quick, especially on something that's adding up to 1.5 million. Like I'm not going to guess all that. So I make my guys do some work and I do some work myself and then I give her the proposal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when's Hawaii again? Next week? I forget. I know you said.
A little over or a little under a month. It's August 21st.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think it's whatever that Thursday is. I think it's August 21st all the way to the following Wednesday. So like I said, I'll be gone for at least 5 of these shows. Maybe I'll be able to do the 30 the first day, Um, but yeah, it'll be something like that. I don't think I'll be able to get up at 2:35 in the morning and do that.
Be cooler if you did.
I know, right? It's like darkness in Hawaii. It's just like so dark there, like
Yeah. I do wanna see you get back to your beach routine. Your
it's so
which
hard, dude. I'm
right
I'm
after.
getting back. I'm getting back. My I don't know if yeah, I told you guys. The other thing that happened yesterday is my office mate and I, we've been having some talks about all of our drinking, our little drinking habits that's been happening in this
Oh,
office. This office turns into a little boys club. We grab a 4 pack of beers. We crush some beers in the middle of the day, the work day. Um, and it's starting to be like noticeable that like that's happening more than it's not happening. And he's noticed himself gaining some weight. He had a really bad experience this weekend where on Sunday he had way too many, and so Monday he was just like completely hungover, like worse than I've ever seen him. He's a 40-year-old man too. Like it's not a normal thing. 40-year-old, 2 kids, business owner, all that stuff. But he was in bad shape. So we very much came together and we're like, we should stop for a little bit.
yeah, you
So
shared a little bit of that yesterday in our dad chat that you're going off of the pizza and beer, a little bit of a lifestyle redirection.
yeah, I think I've gotten the exercise, the a lot of the other good stuff, and the hardest thing for me is always going to be the food. And then lately it's been the beer. So yeah, we're gonna go sober till Hawaii. So I'm gonna go no drinks till then. I'm gonna try to ramp up the healthy eating and channel my inner Ryan Turner, and get myself back on a decent diet and kick out the fast food and the stuff I've been doing. Um, and then I think once I get to Hawaii, like we're going with our friends that are kind of like our drinking friends. I'm just gonna try to keep it in the vein of, cleaner, lighter alcohols and not like the heavy IPAs and as many and stuff like that. And kind of move forward in that direction. Just switch it up a little bit.
Mhm. I'm starting off August with Ryan's shopping list. He
Mm.
gave me his Aberton shopping list. So we had to just gotta wait till we get paid to get those good foods in here. Um, my little adjustment was yesterday. I had a good day of conversations yesterday, and I do want to hit on the reading today. But I did have had some good conversations yesterday. I had one with my younger brother, who I haven't talked to in a few weeks, maybe months, a month, 2 months, and it was a great talk. Got caught up, talked about like more than surface level things, and then had a talk with my 12-year-old who's wrapping up a week of technology jail time. And I asked her, hey, out of it was around breakfast. I kind of shared this with you guys in the chat. Um, I asked her, well, you've been off of your office screens for a week, and I let her like get on like 10 minutes a day just to check on with friends. And I was like, well, how do you feel? And she was like, you know what? I feel pretty good. It's like I don't really care very much to get back on technology right now. Um, it's just not a big deal. And you've asked, or Ryan asked, what changes have happened. and nothing super constructive that she's been doing, but like we've had longer conversations, just passing through the house, a little bit better on chores, definitely a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more engaged. So that prompted me to set myself. I put my screen timer on to cut out any social media after 20 minutes. So, and I already used it this morning. So no more today for me. Um,
Oh,
not
damn.
not
Okay.
yes. And yesterday, like the second half of the day, yeah, I was a little bit more relaxed. So, just something that I recommend for all of you is set your limits, protect your mind, put a wall around it, just let the good things in. Um, yes, we did. Ryan, I did. I talked to our long lost brother. Not lost, just far away. But Dylan's here, and Dylan's kind of like a brother, not by last name only. Um, so kind of referencing Ron and Ryan's conversation, they were talking about like listening to kids and when they're talking and when they're telling you who they are, listen to them, try not to interject. This is actually a reading today that I would love to listen in more rather than speak about because I don't think it relates to either of us, Dom. Um, it's about how there's some parents who raise kids in the mirror of themselves, like politicians come to mind where it's like, Bush family, the Clinton family, uh, generations of people. It might be in construction with like companies being handed down to sons,
Hmm.
uh, family farms, those things. That doesn't apply to me. I don't think it applies to you. And I'm always interested in those stories of people who have followed in their parents' footsteps. I guess I followed in my dad's footsteps by being a teacher. But like, I don't know. I don't think that counts. Um, I don't have that experience where my parents are raising me in the way that they were raised or to continue on any of their legacy besides like, having kids, carrying on the name, which I can't because I got girls. So, Kyle, if you're listening, you got the one kid, Markham. He's the youngest kid in the family and the only guy. Good luck. Um,
And Dylan,
and
Dylan, what do you got?
Dylan,
How's your Turner boy bloodline going in all of your family?
yeah,
Um, yeah, I agree. I think maybe we could talk a little on how we're helping our kids find who they are. Like that's kind of maybe the better point of the topic. Like we're not pushing them into anything. I certainly aren't. I made the offer the other day when Bailey and I were driving to work. I was like, hey, if you don't mind this drive and you don't find anything that you want, worthy of doing in college or after college, you are more than welcome to come work with me. We could do this drive together. Um, and you can learn the business and run it with me. So I made the offer. She kind of like didn't say no right away and didn't say yes, obviously, but I think she just heard it. So we the plan is for her to just go to a community college and start doing things and finding who she is. I don't think she quite knows yet, and I think in this day and age, I think there's so much out there and so much availability, and the job market obviously isn't the same as what our parents had and their parents. So I think the whole like you said, like unless it's political or unless it's sports, unless it's like the high level, people, like I see a lot of that, even in like TV and acting and stuff like that. The high level people, they do tend to do that, or their kids tend to want to follow in their footsteps because they see what they've established. Maybe it's a little easier because they already know the game. But in this instance of the Hardaway family, it doesn't sound like it was easier. Dad's yelling at them the whole time and talking smack.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess sports is on there too. Um, it's like I don't I can't I'm not I'm having a hard time like referencing any specific situation where I've heard this, but it's like my general opinion is like if a kid is raised in such on such like a fine one lane road, like whether it's like the dad uh like raised them to be an athlete and they ended up going into professional sports or whatever. Um it my feeling is like there's always some some rebellion in that. Like the joke is, if you want your kid to be, uh, I can't. What was it? I can't remember. Based along the lines of like, if you want your kid to like, bend the rules, break the rules, become a rebel, send them to Christian private school,
Mm,
along those
yeah,
lines where it's like whatever guidelines you set that you think you want your kids to do, they're gonna rebel either way. And I'm not picking on Christian private schools, but like whatever. Like if I were to, lock my kids down here in my studio for 3 hours a day, tell them to paint, eventually they're gonna get sick of it
they
or
would.
find
Yeah,
something.
they would grow up to never paint again,
Mhm.
and they would raise their children to hate paint.
Yeah, or like the gym. Like if I were to like force my kids to go to the gym with me, at some point they're like, "You know what? Snacks sound great. So fuck you, dad." You know. Um there's a fine line there where between setting an example and
Yeah,
like Ron said, uh listen to who they are and nurture that, you know.
yeah.
So
It's tough, they don't know who they are. They don't have all those words and all those answers yet. So I think a lot of it is just, guiding them into just, in my opinion, like being open, being curious about everything, having a general knowledge of, as much as you possibly can, being adaptable, like those kind of things I think are always going to be the best, especially in today's world where, you know, there's so many stories of people going so many years their life in one direction and then completely changing direction and being so much happier. And I don't think that's a matter of figuring yourself out sooner or first. I think it's more along the lines of like we're just adapting into people that I don't think the human race right now is okay just being one thing and doing one thing forever. Like I think our minds are all going in a direction of multi.
are you referencing like the previous generations habit of
Yeah,
like
a little bit
following?
more. Even like more and more back, like I'm talking about like the evolution of humans, like farmers would just farm forever. Like
Yeah. Yeah, like
hunter
people.
gatherers were just that's all they knew. They knew no difference. And then every year after year we create something new and there's just so much more at our available to us now that we can run the gamut on technology, and we can be doing this, we can be doing there's so many people have multi like side hustles and stuff like that. And I just don't, there are still people that do it. Like you're in art, like you teach art and you paint, but I'm just saying like some people will be like, oh, I like art, but I also like construction, but I also love this. And then they may switch from one thing to another, or they may do them all at once. I don't know. So I think
Yes.
it's tough for our kids to try to figure out what they want and at 18 be like, "Yes, I wanna go be this and be this forever."
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. One conversation I had yesterday with my brother was his so me and him, something we have in common is that our wives are the breadwinners, and his wife's dad is more of like, the old school where he kind of talked about like, well, do you find that emasculating that like your wife is making possibly enough money that you could possibly stay home? And like I could totally understand that feeling. Um, But then uh, like in the past, yeah, maybe. Like who had a stay-at-home dad in the 80s? I didn't have any friends that did. But like I'm home for the summer. Um, my brother does have a large cut of like the raising the kids, and I'm like, well, it's like what's more masculine than like being with your kids and being able to raise them, you know? And that kind of plays into, hustles, multiple jobs, whatever. It's like if you can find if you still have the availability in your 30s and 40s to explore and remain curious, then I think you've won, right? Like if you're locked
Hmm.
one job that you hate because like you have to make the money, it's like that I don't want to do that. And yes, there's been hard times with money because I've chosen that, but it's like in 10 years, I could imagine doing something else because I have that mindset of like, there's got to be. I'm sure I'm going to change. I'm sure my interests are going to change, and as long as it gives me time with my family, then I will absolutely follow that thread for as long as it goes.
Yep. I mean, I agree. Like I've said it to my wife before. I'm like, I would love a little role reversal here at some point, just a little tap out of this and let you tap in. I know Brofit lives that life, where his wife is the work. She goes out and does the work, and he stays home with kids. I don't think of Brofit as not a man or not masculine at all. It's not, that doesn't define, I don't think that defines people right now. In fact, like you said, I think he's more for being able to sit and take care of the kids. I know it's tough. I know it's hard work. We all do. Like when we tap in and we do that. So it's not like it's an easy job. It's definitely it it's more of a thankless job. You don't get the immediate um attaboy with a paycheck. Um, so there's always that. It's easier to work. Like you you get shown that you're doing a good job when someone pays you. But being a stay-at-home parent, it's not like that. You don't get shown that you're doing a good job until the end. Like when your kids go off and they go and do something great and you're like, "Yeah, that's because of all that I did those 18 plus years."
Yeah, yeah, bro.
You have to take in those little moments, like those little things, those little, like she brought home a really cute art picture, or he, did really good in soccer or whatever. Like those are your moments. They're just not as obvious.
Hmm. Yeah, and they're multitudinous. So many opportunities for that. Yeah, Brofit is a specimen of both health, manhood, and fatherhood. I would say the most emasculating thing is being with your kids and having to call your wife to to check to get like the correct answer for something with the kids. I would say that's the most emasculating. When you don't know the answer for your kids, or you're not sure like what food they want, and you got to call. It's like, hey, how do I cook this thing for the kids?
Yeah.
They like to eat.
Yeah.
Like that's when I feel like at my least manly is when I have to.
Mine's always the clothes. Like what size are the kids' clothes? Or like right now, my girls are my Brooklyn is getting really close to the same size as Bailey, because I think Bailey's topped out in her height and well, weights whatever, but in her height, so they're getting to be the same size. So I'll sit there and when I'm doing the laundry, all the kids just mix their laundry together. And so I'm like, whose is this? And now like my wife's going down in size. So now I got like almost like three girls worth of clothes that all look the same. And so I'll just mix shit up sometimes, and they're like sitting there yelling at each other like, Bailey, why'd you steal my shirt? And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Dad did the laundry. I don't think anyone stole anything. Just I did the laundry. I don't know whose is whose. We put
Yeah,
some names. We put some names on this stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of mix and matching. Yeah, the clothes is one thing that I might concede in. I'm I'm probably never going to be as good as Kristen is with the clothing.
Yeah. Girl clothes is confusing as hell too. So,
I know. So many so many roundish and thin and dainty.
my problem is it's for the most part it's all tight fitting. So when they remove it, it's all inside out.
Oh man, that's the worst. Those tank tops, those double layered tank tops that only
Oh,
attach
the
to the top.
my wife just started getting those, dude, and I'm like, "What is this puzzle?" So I just threw it at her and I'm like, "Can you handle this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know, I hate it too."
Yeah, it's like a whole basket of like Cracker Barrel puzzles. That's that's what that is.
Oh man. All right. Another awesome show. I'll be I think I'll be on tomorrow. So if anyone wants to catch me tomorrow, Saturday, don't usually do Saturday show, but the family's still in Tahoe, so I will be home alone. I can't imagine I don't wake up early. Maybe I shouldn't promise it, but I'm not drinking, so I should be fine. Uh to go to bed early. But yeah, if anyone wants to do this tomorrow, anyone wants to join me on stage, I'll hit me in the DMs. I'm glad to have a talk with anyone.
What are we talking about tomorrow?
Dylan, maybe since you're not driving tomorrow, you can jump up.
Tomorrow might be a good one for a Saturday conversation, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah, sometimes the weekends are bangers, and I read them either the day of or the next day, like on Monday. Um, and I'm like, dang, we should really talk about that. And then I forget, once we get on the show and we get live, and it's hard for me to scroll back and read while we're doing I don't think anyone wants to see me and you reading on the screen.
Uh,
Definitely not Scuba Steve.
Looks like Saturday and Sunday might be some good conversations. Okay, I'm going to get going to what I got to do, whatever that might be. Uh,
Profit safe freaking travels. He flies out today, I think. He's getting on his plane to Norway, and
yes.
he's gonna have way he's gonna be what's higher than 9 plus. Brofit's gonna be a 19 plus for the next like 5, 6, 7 days. Other
Yeah.
than when he's flying, because he hates flying.
Or whatever the Swedish conversion is with that. Um, we should do we should do a Bro Fits episode, his recap. That's what I think that's what we
Yep.
should,
Yep.
because I know he's got a good connection there with some family.
Yeah. Gonna
So
have a blast. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Enjoy your Friday. If you're off, MP, enjoy your day. And we'll check in with you tomorrow. Love you guys.
see you, everybody. Have a great Friday.
See you, buddy.